Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 95 of Feed Frank Friday. If you're enjoying this content, please like, share, subscribe. Tonight, well fam, I thought we were heading to Ohio, but it turns out this story starts all the way back in the UK.
Freshen your drink, Governor!
I'll tell you a little bit about it as we sample the BrewDog Hoppy Mix Pack. This pack screams Frank. I'm very excited to try this. I haven't had BrewDog before. As a matter of fact, I hadn't heard of BrewDog until my friend and F4 Sue brought them into my life. So thank you, Sue. Thank you to Sue's daughter, Emily, for getting them. And correction, when I sampled the New Realm Brewing. Thank you very much, Sue, for donating this New Realm sampler pack. Thank you, Sue's daughter, Lindsay, for providing those. Corrections are out of the way. I think we're good to start the episode. I don't know who I was looking for there. For tonight's episode, we have 4 beverages to sample out of the Hoppy Mix Pack. We're gonna start everything off first with Lost, which is a Planet First lager. Must be a hoppier lager. From there, we're gonna move to the Punk IPA, which happens to be a West Coast style IPA. After that, we're gonna move to the Hazy Jane, which is a New England style IPA. And then we're gonna finish everything off with a grapefruit infused IPA known as Elvis juice. I have a feeling that by the time I get to that, there'll probably be a lot of Elvis impressions, not good ones, but they're gonna be there. All right, I'm pumped. An IPA pack? DMX.
Let's get it on.
All right, fam, I did mention our first beer was going to be Lost, but what do we have here? Bonus beer. Yes, Sue was kind enough to give me the crisp golden ale, the cold beer BrewDog. Best served ice cold. ATM, all thumbs, man. This crisp golden ale is coming at us at 4.7% alcohol by volume. Color looks really nice. It smells crisp. Cheers, fam. The biggest thing I will say about this is it finishes very clean. There's a nice balance between the hops and the malt. It doesn't sit very thick on my tongue like most ales tend to do. Feels light. It's not hitting my stomach too hard. This is one of those, like, you could just drink this all day. I mean, you could drink this all day. I'm not gonna drink this. BrewDog cold beer. Down. Bonus beer. All right, now that we've got our cold beer down, it's time to go on to our first from the Hoppy Mix Pack. That happens to be BrewDog's Lost, which I mentioned is a Planet First lager. ATM. So it's called the Planet First lager because BrewDog is the world's only carbon negative brewery out there. So what that means is for every beer they make, they basically remove twice the CO2 that they actually emit. I didn't need an excuse to drink more, but now drinking can save the planet. Little bit cloudier than the ale. This is also sitting at 4.7, just like the cold beer did. It doesn't smell like any lager that I've had before. Cheers, fam. Now, even for a lager, it still has a crisp, it has a clean finish on it. I taste some citrus notes in there, which is interesting. So BrewDog actually originated back in 2007 in the UK, specifically Fraserburgh, Scotland.
If it's no Scottish, it's crap!
James Watt and Martin Dickey are the founders. Long story short, for the origination, they were just kind of sick of the beer market in the UK and they wanted to do their own thing. More power to them. 2008, for better or for worse, they made a name for themselves when they came out with the Tokyo beer. Despite its name being Tokyo, it is an American Imperial Stout. Here's the kicker with that beer. it was 16.5%. So the Portman Group, they're the ones who kind of regulate alcohol producers. After BrewDog came out with that beer, they banned all of their products. But BrewDog forged ahead, started exporting to Sweden, Japan, the Americas. And they actually became Scotland's largest independent brewery.
If it's no Scottish,
Which I feel like isn't that hard because don't they just export scotch from there? By 2009, the banks were like, we're not lending you any more money. You're making beers at 16+%. We're not having it. So what did they do? They launched what's called Equity for Punks. They offered people the chance to buy shares in their company. And guess what? Over 1,300 people invested. And so what do? They continue to push the boundaries and they come out with the strongest beer ever, Tactical Nuclear Penguin. That motherfucker was 32% alcohol by volume. BrewDog Lost, down. Punk IPA. Now this is a West Coast
West Side.
style IPA. Basically with a West Coast IPA, you're pretty much doubling the hops of an American IPA. Now I'll tell you, for some reason, I am not a big fan of West Coast IPAs. ATM, this is also coming at us at 7.5% alcohol by volume. I almost slipped and dumped this all over the place. Color, obviously cloudier than what we've seen because we've got an IPA here. I pick up on the citrus, pick up on the pine. Cheers, fam. The citrus comes through, you got that bitterness, but the one thing I really like about this is that it doesn't sit on my tongue at all. So continuing the story of BrewDog, 2010, they open up their first bar in Aberdeen, town in northeast Scotland.
Scottish.
And they win a gold medal for their hardcore IPA at the World Beer Cup, which I just realized is a thing I'd like to attend. That hardcore IPA sat at 55% alcohol by volume.
Jesus Christ.
2011, new bars open up in Edinburgh, Glasgow, London.
In London.
That same year, they actually brew a beer at the bottom of the ocean. And welcomed about 5,000 new shareholders and raised 2.2 million euros, which, I don't know, I think equates to like $528. And by 2012, they opened 6 new bars across the United Kingdom. Punk IPA, down. Ladies and gentlemen, on to our next, which is the New England style IPA, the Hazy Jane. New England style IPAs lean heavily on late and dry hopping techniques. Very juicy, very tropically. This is my jam. ATM, all thumbs, man. We're looking at 7.2% alcohol by volume, which means Frank is for sure getting yelled at. Color's a little more cloudy than the Punk IPA, that being a New England, a little bit more hazy. Hazy Jane. Oh, it smells good. That smells good. Cheers, fam. That's tasty. Citrus notes burst on this. It doesn't sit as bitter as the West Coast IPA. So talking a little bit more, 2013, BrewDog gets about 10,000 more investors. And you know you've made it when a fake BrewDog beer comes out in China. 2014, they create and release 36 new BrewDog beers. 36 in a year. And finally in 2015, they take their beer stateside. And they open up BrewDog Columbus. You know, I once read IPAs really tell a story. You can actually mark each one of your sips from where those bubbles reside. Hazy Jane, down. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to our final beverage of the evening. And that's going to be the... Do you like that, Elvis? That was a good Elvis. So it's a grapefruit infused IPA. It's coming at us at 6.5% alcohol by volume. The can says live fast, drink slow. I feel like I do the opposite. The color looks lighter than the Hazy, obvi, but it also looks lighter than the West Coast IPA. Cheers, fam. I've got the grapefruit, and it leans more towards the tartar side, which is fine with the IPA. I taste a lot of citrus, maybe some orange. In 2016, BrewDog introduces Elvis Juice along with 81 other new beers. What? By 2017, these guys got 70,000 people investing in the company. 2018, they start opening up hotels. 2019 is when they hit that negative carbon thing that I told you about. 2020, when the world went to shit. Distillers were put on pause to make hand sanitizer, which they donated over 500,000 bottles. And last update, 2021, they're building a hotel in Vegas. So, hey, could be soon.
Listen, oh, Elvis juice. Huh. Down.
I don't even think that's Elvis. And there it is. BrewDog Hoppy Mix Pack down. Now, the question on everybody's mind, do I recommend BrewDog Hoppy Mix Pack? Now, y'all know me.
Still the same OG, but I've been low key.
I'm not the biggest beer fan anymore. Still enjoy an IPA every now and then. When it comes to the BrewDog Hoppy Mix Pack, seal of quality, this is fantastic. Each one of these was great, along with the cold beer BrewDog that I had at the beginning. I strongly recommend this. I looked online, you can get this in Michigan. If you can get your hands on this and you're a fan of IPAs, grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Tippity tap that notification bell. New episodes every 7 p.m. EST on Fridays, despite what my son said last episode. F cubed. Out.
Elvis deuces.
It's not Elvis.
I'm gonna drink this Elvis juice IPA. Oh.